Hi, this is Ebony Pegasus, and this is Kraken for Newbies Part 2, a Warships tutorial.
Time for me to take it. I'm the boss right now, not gonna fake it. Now when you go down, 'cause this is my game, and you better come to play.
And as you can see in this game entering in, it's just me, and there's one other actual real player, and the rest of them are bots. Now this can happen quite often when you're playing kind of late at night, like I'm in Australia, so I'm playing at odd hours, and if you want to get a Kraken, this is one way to get it. Bit of a cheap way to get it, I think. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going in, like I'm going at fairly fast speed just to get a little bit closer to the action right now. I am firing AP rounds there and completely missing, which happens. I probably should be firing heat rounds because I'm too far away at the moment. So heat rounds are good for long distance. They're also good against destroyers, which is what I'm targeting there. Now looking at his smokestacks, his smoke is almost going straight up in the air, which means he's not moving particularly fast, so I don't want to lead the target too far ahead when he's going kind of slow. That one smoke is billowing out quite at an angle towards its aft or its stern, so it means that that one is going quite fast. Now the destroyer has sped up, meaning I need to lead my target a little bit further ahead of his bow. He's at somewhat of an angle. Now, to predict where my shells are going to land, I'm looking at that number that tells me how many seconds it's going to take before my bullet actually gets to him. And it's getting, less and less seconds as he gets closer to me. It's now going to take, 24 seconds, 23, 22. And I blew him out of the water with my secondaries. So I get a close quarters expert for that particular maneuver. That's one dead destroyer, which is the best destroyer you can have on the enemy team, is a dead one. Now I've got kind of the island in the way of me and that battleship, so I'm gonna have to sneak around the island to get to him. I don't want to be broadside to him, so I'm angling myself so that when he appears around the island, I'm not showing my broad to him. I also don't want to show my broadside to the cruiser over there because they can hit me pretty hard as well if I'm showing broadside. But the battleship's probably a greater threat since he's so close. Heading around this island, I can see his mast. He's coming out, and I'm going to hit him as hard as I can at close range. Now, the red dot on top of his ship is an Aslan's modification telling me that he is at a stop or close to it. His smoke is billowing slightly back, showing me that he is going a little bit slow forward. Now I'm turning my back of my ship towards him. This is known as kiting, when you actually are traveling away from your target and you're firing with your rear guns. So I'm in the kite position right now, getting some distance between me and him, firing my secondary guns at him and my primary guns. Trying to line up here to try to hit a citadel. He's not going very fast because his smoke's going straight up in the air. So that means I can aim the circle right where I want to hit, which is right in between those smokestacks. And close to the waterline is where a lot of citadels are. But you need to get to know where the citadels are in each individual ship. You can do that by looking before you actually get into a battle. You can actually, there's a way to see it, and I'll go through that at the end of the video. So right now he's traveling very slowly forward, not moving much. I'm turning my nose back towards him. Now I need to, when you're turning and you know you're going to get broadside to a ship, you need to time it between when he is fired. So when a battleship fires, it's going to take him a while to reload. Then it's safe to have my broadside to him and I can turn safely. Because I want to get my nose back to him and head in closer. He's going backwards as indicated by that pink dot above him and the direction of his smoke. So I'm going to fire leading the target towards the back of the ship, and finally I've killed him. Finally.
You're not so tough.
So, between loading shells, it's a good time to take a glance at your minimap. You always need to be map aware. So, glance back and forth between what you're targeting and your little map. I can see from the minimap that there is a battleship in our cap. So we don't want that. I'm going to have to try to reset him to stop him actually capturing it. He isn't very smart because he's a bot, so he's actually leaving the cap, but a player would more than likely stay in there. So I'm going to try to just take him out. I see by the collision indicator there that I'm about to hit that island, so I need to make sure I turn. Being aware of the position of my ship by looking at it on the minimap. He's not going terribly fast, indicated by his smoke. I completely missed him, so this time I'm going to try hard to hit him right where that fire is in the center. Kaboom!
Ship founded.
And the enemy ship has been founded, so I turn my attention straight to the cruiser. So the name of this cruiser is the Bogarter, which always reminds me of Humphrey Bogart whenever I see the name of the ship. And he is chasing my ally Bogarter, who is actually the live player in this game. So to help the player out, I'm going to help him eliminate this cruiser. Plus, he's pretty much the closest to me. Looks like the Bogarter on the ally team has been kiting as well, which is what I was doing earlier. So he has had this enemy Bogarter chase him down and away from the cap, so he's luring him away and firing with his rear guns. It looks like he's starting to make a turn back towards it. He can see that I'm helping him to destroy this ship. It's almost dead. Down she blows.
We're doing well. Keep up the fine work.
Okay, so I can see by the collision indicator there that I am about to hit that island again. I'm used to steering by looking at the minimap, so I don't always have to hit my shift key to pan back and forth. Trying to get this battleship which is in our cap, another one trying to steal our grass, as I call it. Get off my grass!
Get up. Get off my lawn.
Listen, old man, you don't want to fuck with me.
Did you hear me? I said get off my lawn now.
Are you fucking crazy? Go back in the house.
Yeah, I blow a hole in your face and then I go in the house. And I sleep like a baby. You can count on that.
My secondaries are firing at him. And I'm firing my primaries, trying to hit the citadel if I can. I'm probably aiming a little bit too far back to actually get it at the moment. One more hit should do it. There she goes! My secondary guns took him out, and I get another close quarters expert medal for that, and now the Kraken has been unleashed. That was pretty exciting. And back to the game here. I can see that both the Nassau, which are live on the enemy team, are heading for our cap. They really want to steal our grass bad. Now, the first Nassau that I'm trying to take out is actually one of the live players on the enemy team. So he's my first target. This is a lot more dangerous. He is going to come bow on at me. So I'm going to try to shoot his guns. I raise my aim a little bit, trying to get that gun. I did miss it, and he's going to wiggle more to the side. He's angling quite nicely with me here, which is making him a lot harder for me to hit. And I'm probably going to get a few ricochets off of him just because of the angle of the ship. So this is a smart player. His name is Magnus ZX. trying to just penetrate through that hull of his, and it ricocheted because of his angle. Shows you the benefit of an angle. I'm taking a quick look around at the other Nassau. He's not as much of a threat, but there are two of them. So I'm thinking they're probably going to kill me before I can kill one of them. Penetrated him that time. My secondaries are going crazy at him, and his are going crazy at me. And if you look at here, the damage caused to ships, and down at the bottom I've got the damage that I've received. I've received quite a bit of damage from these particular Nassaus. And check out that score. It's a 69er, guys. We win the game. It's another victory for Ebony Pegasus. Okay, so as promised, I am going to go through the citadels on the ships. This is the ship I've been using, which is the Nassau, which is a German Tier 3 battleship. Now, to look at where its weak spots are, you click this arrow open and look at the armor layout, and it gives you sort of some colors to look at. From the weakest to the strongest armor, if you put your mouse over, you can see that it's showing you that there's side paneling, which is 19 millimeters thick. Now, if I hide that side paneling by going here and clicking with my mouse, I can now look where the citadel bulkhead is. So basically, I have to get my shell through that side paneling and then into the citadel torpedo bulkhead. So sometimes it might take 2 hits in the same spot, or sometimes you can just blast right through it in one shot. But knowing where these citadels are on your own ship, and also just going through like other ship types as well, to find out where those citadels are is very important when you're playing World of Warships. So I'm just going to put those back, because I want to show you with this particular ship, another weak spot is actually back here. If I hide the aft end deck by clicking on it with my mouse there, you can now see the citadel. You can actually hit the citadel from going right over into the deck and in. I want to know where my weak spots are, because I really don't want other people hitting these citadels. So I know that being broadside on this ship is really bad, because it gives them a chance to have a wide area here to hit the citadel. But if I have it at more of an angle like that, and I put the panels back on, hopefully their shells will ricochet off my side paneling, which is angled down for just such purpose. So that is the Nassau. And if I look at, say I look at a different ship, let's look at, I don't know, the Kohlberg here. She is a cruiser, and as you can already tell, the cruiser has a lot more weak spots on it than the battleship did. 6 millimeter armor, 10 millimeter armor, it's pretty thin. That's why they're much easier to kill than the battleships are. If we take this let's just take the plating off. And you can see there's the citadel right there. It's a little bit higher than the waterline. The citadel plating, the citadel section is right here where the smokestacks are. So that's where you want to try to hit, especially when they're broadside. So let's look at the destroyer. She is green everywhere, which means that the armor is quite weak. It's 10 millimeters here, it's 14 millimeters there. As you can see, it's not as well protected, but these ships make up for that by having speed. They're really fast, they can wiggle back and forth and maneuver and make them really hard to hit, because just as you sent your shell a certain direction, all of a sudden the ship's moved. That's how they stay alive. They also have smoke screens to keep them alive. So that's all we have time for in this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.